there is a sort of sisterhood in unexpected places. And it actually gets brought up, right, by these two women who are talking in their kitchen saying that, oh, these girls are now becoming friends. And it's so important for girls to be friends. And they ask each other, you think you and I could be friends? And even on the railway platform, there's a friendship, a kinship, a sisterhood in an unexpected place between those two women as well. And I find that beautiful because I believe that as women, we survive some of the tough moments in our life because of the sisterhood. And it's not always acknowledged in film and popular culture.
Fully agree. Fully agree. And I do think that, it's something I'm surprised we haven't been conscious of enough.
It gets done for, that all of the friendships that we see on screen are young women who are still sort of coming of age.
Yeah.
But it sort of disappears after that.
Or we see this, the antagonism within households where women are always at each other's throats. And actually a funny anecdote is that both the writers on the film, both Sneha and Divyanidhi, both write Indian soaps. And they were like, this is as different from what we do.
Type faster.
Exactly.
Because someone takes it away.
Undoing all those sort of stereotypes and tropes that we've been stuffing into television of women always being enemies or in some way competitive within households. And I think that was one of the nicest, the scene that you talked about was one of the nicest things, because we don't realize how important it is for us to support each other. And in that we get that space to advance ourselves towards our own little goals as well. It's not competitive between us. And I think it's been set up like that since time immemorial. Women fighting over the same guy, or, it's always been like that in television.
So I have this theory about it, right? Because in those shows, either two women, mother and wife, are fighting for the attention and the affection of one man. It's always, you're always fighting for a slice of the patriarchy. In some way. And you're all hostages of this patriarchy. And you can only function from within in the spaces that have been allowed to you. And your currency is always the affection of a man.
Correct.
And it could be your son, it could be your father, it could be your,
I think it stems from the fact that women just are not financially independent. It just starts and ends there. I mean, the fact that women are not paid for household help, for working at home, for doing a range of things, not just sweeping and swabbing, just because women may not be doing the actual physical labor of it. The management of a home and children is just unacknowledged and unpaid for. And
unseen.
And
it's
unseen.
invisible.
And genuinely not appreciated. It's invisible. And the second is when it comes to inheritances, and where women or sisters within a family are always very naturally given less than their brothers.
You have no agency if you don't have financial security.
Exactly.
Because, and I keep saying this, that even women who make their own money and don't manage their own and hand it over to a male family member to look after, what you put yourself in is a position where you want to make a decision that could be professional, it could be personal. You're walking away from a bad job, bad boss, bad spouse. That should not also be a financial decision. You should have the money to be able to do that. You should not have to ask for permission financially.
Correct.
And that only happens when you don't have control over money. Then you have to ask someone, can I leave this marriage? Can I leave this job? Can I leave this boss? Can I leave this situation?
I'm sure there are, a huge number of marriages where women cannot leave for fear that they'll be on the streets.
Yes.
The fact that I have friends who are highly, sort of successful women, live in big cities like Mumbai, and they would have made, and this friend of mine has made all these investments because she has this sort of financial sense and has been investing in stocks and shares or whatever, funds, etc. But all in her husband's name. And I'm just like, what? Why? Why would you do that? It's all actually your sense. You've been studying it. But the investment is in so it's actually something that women need to learn a little bit. And there, I think it's been, in a sense, it feels almost like women are ashamed to be having to work or earning a living. In many parts of this country, it's like the women don't need to work. This is another annoying thing. Like, I was like, yeah, but she needs to. And it's happened to also friends of mine where they're like told that they don't need to work. Why would they want to work?
So the ability to be able to leave you whenever I place.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, yeah.
And this is a show about failure, which is also on the other side, a show about success, right? Do you believe that the definition for success for women is fundamentally different from men? That the yardstick is different?
Absolutely. I mean, I think for women, firstly, the lane that you're running on always will have the hurdles, and the men will have no hurdles to run on.
Yeah.
And so reaching the same kind of milestone will take you double the time. And you'll always be, sort of judged for, sort of whether you did the right, had the right family, marriage, children, all these other things also come into your box as a definition of success, where I don't think anybody cares if your MD or CEO or whoever he is hired, whether he's married and how many children he has, nobody asks. Whereas when you have to do anything, those are all considerations that are very real for most women. And it's like you're not just jumping that hurdle, but you are the one who has kettlebells in your hand and jumping, So it's just weighed a little weighted differently.
And I find this, weird, because the same question, are you married, do you have children, is both success and failure. Because on one hand, if you're sitting at an interview and, someone's looking to hire you, whether you're married or have children, or you're going to get married and have children, will be seen as a disadvantage. And on the other hand, if you're at a family event and you're an extremely successful young lawyer, doctor, journalist, whatever it is, and you're not married and you don't have children, that's seen as failure.
Correct.
So it's almost like we can't get on top of all of it.